Hi there, this is Jiubeck, and today we are going to look at the new Scrawlrbox. To be exact, it's a Scrawlrbox for June. It arrived a couple of days ago, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's inside the box. So let's open it up. So first, you see the new box design. They changed it a couple of months ago. We have the new scroller design that has been added like for the past 3 or 4 boxes as well. Let's put that out of the way for a second and let's see. Here's the magazine. It says June. We have a stack of what seems to be watercolor paper, really nice. And now let's first open up the singles. Let's see what's inside here. Let's turn it around. We have the sticker. It also looks like watercolor. Here's the menu. Let's look at it later. Shoes? Like a chewing gum or something. We have a watercolor pencil from Caran d'Ache, which is nice. We have a brush, round brush, synthetic hairs. It seems like, I think it's a 5 or 6, and a white gel pen. So let's open up the main part of the box. Let's see. There, finally open. Let's see. Those seem to be some sort of watercolors. It says Derwent on it. Derwent Inktense, if I read it correctly. Yeah, according to the menu, that seems to be the case. So the menu says it's 350 GSM watercolor paper by Sea White. There's supposed to be 12 sheets of it. That's actually kind of nice. It's one thing I always annoyed me about Scrawlrbox, that they never gave enough paper. So seeing that, I think the box before that had a college block, a style block of paper, and here that they give 12 sheets, that's really nice. Just like really hard and thick watercolor paper, almost like cardboard. You put some of the stuff away. Let's check out the design. Again, it seems that those are basically a new version of the like Inktense watercolor pigments that you can get from Derwent. Scrawlrbox, like a year ago, had a watercolor palette with Inktense watercolors, and I think you can get those also as penciled, so that's kind of nice. So the artwork this time is made by Alice, or Alice Coles. Let's put the stuff away and start drawing. The topic this time for the Scrawler challenge is spirit animal, and after much deliberation I think I found something that actually describes me very well. I am going to draw a dik-dik, and no, YouTube, it's not what you think it is. It's spelled D-I-K-D-I-K, and it's a small gazelle type of animal. I chose it basically because it's cute, and I really like cute stuff, first and foremost. The other thing is that the first time I showed someone a picture of a dik-dik, they didn't want to believe me that it actually exists, and one friend even called it a rabbit that doesn't know what it wants to be, a rabbit or a gazelle, which I found it fits me, basically. And after thinking a bit about it, here you can see a picture of it. That's a grown one. I've seen a couple of different ones where they are smaller or like more round, have horns and stuff. When I was thinking about it, for me it makes total sense. Like I'm small in stature, like 160 centimeters. It's like 5'3", I think. Um, don't quote me on that. I'm not really. I don't understand the American system, but uh, every time, like, I don't know if you know that feeling when you try to look like really uh, grown up as a woman, like have makeup on and doll yourself up, and I always think like I'm still looking like a plushie, or like someone who's like trying too hard to fit in. So you still see me, like the comfortable me, or like that I'm uncomfortable um with all of that, with this kind of elegance elegant concept of femininity. I rather prefer like the cute side of it. And yeah, after thinking about it, I really realized that that's kind of, I don't know, describes me very well. So let's try out some of the Derwent pigment. I've laid down some of the colors for already. Like the plan is to go from the blues and the violets um, up to yellows and the brown that was in the box. So first I'm painting the shadows in, and right off the bat you can see that the pigments kind of behave different than other watercolors. There's a lot of pigment on the paper. It feels like pushing it around. If that makes any sense. And you kind of have to wet your brush a lot of times. Here I got kind of annoyed with the brush that was provided, because I don't know why all of my brushes are basically synthetics. I don't use real hair brushes, which I know have, like, they store less water. But for some reason, this brush was extreme in that regard. Like, you could uh, make 2 or 3 strokes and you are out of water. So I changed the brush to one of my own. And even though it's also synthetic, okay, it's a different shape of brush. It's a flat brush. It spread the water better. It held the water better. So I don't know. I usually like the brushes that Scrawlrbox provides, but in that case, it was really annoying, because you can see, like, on the shoulder and the front, that I got this water streak down, and it's just that I was like not quick enough to put down the water there to spread the pigment, but it was literally like a couple of seconds that the streak remained there, and I couldn't get rid of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over this layer by layer, trying to add different colors to it, and just try to get the spot out of there. So now you see I'm adding more blues, so that you can have a nice contrast between, like, the cooler bottom half of the Jiubeck and the back, which is going to be very light and very yellow and reddish. I know that's not the of course not the traditional colors that their fur usually has, but for this box, which has like the rainbow colors in it, I tried to actually incorporate a bit of the rainbow in the whole design. So I'm going to add some green hues to the mane on top to differentiate a bit the face from the rest of the body. And again, you can still see I'm trying to get rid of that one spot that stayed there, and it really kind of annoys me because I like to watercolor. I'm not the best in it, but that's like one thing I think in usual watercolor I would be able to get rid of in some ways. Like, I don't think I waited too long to get enough water there to spread the pigment. But yeah, it is what it is. But I can say though, even though I'm not a big fan of the Inktense brand, let's say it, I appreciate that, you know, the colors, you put them down, they dry really fast, and you don't smudge stuff, so it's great if you want to work on the go. And in this box they added like really nice pigments, like those chalks or whatever you want to call it. Let's see on the menu, they call it blocks. I think the pigment is good, or are good. They can be really bright and pigmented, as you can see. I don't know if it's because I used the Caran d'Ache pencil that the colors kind of look really dirty or like desaturated because of the gray pigment from the pencil. But I had similar issues with the palette that they had a year ago, where they just gave you like watercolor palette, but it was Inktense pigment and not real watercolor. That every picture I made compared to real watercolor seemed to be more desaturated or like more muddy. The colors wouldn't really shine. They also always seem to have kind of a little bit of a tint. I'm trying some masking fluid here on the side to see how it works on the paper. And here you can see we're going in with the white jelly roll to add a bit of highlights and white fur to the animal. And you can still see the areas where, even though I try to paint over them, it kind of stayed there. I think that's just like the feature of Inktense. But yeah, so let's start with the masking fluid. I'm using a silicone pencil to put it on and to get into all the creases. So yeah, hi, that's me from the future. Just a heads up, I ruined the picture by trying to actually add a background to it. So I'm just going to skip right to the end where the whole background is already ruined. I'm just going to show you what I did instead. So that's the picture how it looks now after trying to do some splatter techniques and then having to remove some splatters, adding water and whatever. I painted over it with acrylics, which isn't allowed, so I did this. I repainted the whole thing this time with just the supplies in the box, as I was supposed to. No masking fluid, no background. I was done. So The only thing I was just going to do now is, like you can see here again, you see all the structure. There's like ink dots and white ink and acrylics. So yeah, it's not pretty. And this one I'm actually really proud of. I think it turned out way better than the first one. The proportions are better, the colors are better, and more satisfied with it than the previous one. So it turned out well in the end. This is the one that's going up on Instagram for the Scroller Challenge, and I'm really happy that you guys endured it with me for so long and watched it, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!